Good to have you with us on a Monday morning. I'm Joe Fryer.
And I'm Savannah Sellers. We start this morning with wide-scale destruction across the southeast caused by Hurricane Helene. Entire communities in the Carolinas were washed away by powerful floods, which destroyed homes and roads, cutting towns off from the outside world and cutting off from aid.
I came home. I haven't seen my kids. I'm tired. I'm hungry. Still have no power.
Lines for basic essentials are stretching for miles, with people saying they have to wait several hours for things like gas and water. Now, more than 3,200 federal emergency workers from agencies like FEMA are in the region trying to get help, get people those basic needs. In Florida, where the storm first made landfall on Thursday, some communities are slowly starting to return to some sense of normalcy, with schools and roads set to reopen this morning. Meteorologist Michelle Grossman is standing by with a look at the forecast, which does include some bad news for those places cleaning up from these historic floods. But first, let's begin with NBC News correspondent Jay Gray, who's in Boone, North Carolina, with the latest.
Hey there, good morning in Boone. Like so many areas in Helene's path, caked in mud, dealing with downed power lines and debris that's scattered everywhere.
Miles of debris stretches across Florida, Georgia, Tennessee, and the Carolinas. Helene chewing up and spitting out huge sections of the southeast.
It looks like a movie. It doesn't even look real. It looks like somebody took the road, it looks like Play-Doh, and just like threw it to the side. So the damage is astronomical.
And continuing to unfold, floodwaters washing away entire communities. The violent storm and now its aftermath, responsible for more than 60 deaths. Teams on the water and in the air searching for more than 100 people still missing, including Guadalupe Hernandez Corona's sister. Through a translator, she shares their last heart-wrenching phone call.
Her sister called her family to say goodbye because they knew they weren't going to make it. So they were able to call them and talk to them. She talked to her kids. Her sister, Monica, is her sister, talked to her kids and was able to say her goodbyes.
In many areas, floodwaters are still raging, still ripping apart anything in their path.
Conditions on the ground remain extremely dangerous. Roadways are damaged, there are downed power lines and unstable ground.
A mudslide taking out several miles of Interstate 40, hundreds of roads washed out, turning towns into islands without power, gas, or water, and no idea how or when they'll get it back.
So many here dealing with so much loss and unsure of what comes next, and they're not getting any help from the forecast with the possibility of more rain over the next few days. In Boone, North Carolina, I'm Jay Gray. Back to you now.
All right, Jay, thank you.
Now let's get a closer look with NBC meteorologist Michelle Grossman.
She's tracking what's left of Helene across the mid-Atlantic. Michelle, good morning.
Good morning, guys. And yeah, we are still talking about the remains of Helene, not off the coast until tomorrow. So still we're looking for the heavy threat for rain today. Could see some flooding potential, some flash flooding potentials because the grounds are so saturated. The rivers, the streams are so swollen. This is what radar looks like right now. On a 6-hour loop, you can see those heavy returns. That's those brighter returns showing us where that heavy rainfall is falling. And this is going to be the story as we go throughout the day. So the mid-Atlantic still seeing those scattered showers. This rain stretches all the way back to the Ohio Valley through the state of Pennsylvania, West Virginia and Virginia. And again, we will see pockets of heavy rain. Could see up to 2 inches in some spots. Doesn't sound like a whole lot, but really we don't need any in these areas. So I overlaid the alerts here. We do have a flood alert that includes Charlottesville, also Blackstone, back into Elkins, West Virginia. Where you see this green, that is where we're seeing that flood alert. And we did see flash flood warnings overnight into early this morning, and most likely we will see that as we go throughout the day here. So the flash flood risk is in effect, especially where you see this blue shading. That's the likeliest spot for seeing some flash flooding. Charlottesville, you're included in that, but notice this green outline as well down to Boone, Roanoke, Morgantown, Hagerstown, also D.C. could see some flash flooding as well. We have a lot of humidity in the air. Any of these rain showers could cause some flash flooding. This is why. Could see a 1/4 inch. That's where you're seeing those those lighter greens. The darker green is a ½ inch. But then as we get towards those darker colors, the reds, the oranges, the yellows, could see an inch and a half, up to 2 inches in some spots. And that includes Virginia and also parts of West Virginia. This is why. This is the remains of Helene. Can't believe we're still talking about this days later, just lingering in the mid-Atlantic. So those alerts will continue, but then finally we're going to see it move offshore tomorrow. Better relief, more relief, a little few scattered showers still left over tomorrow. But then we're watching a cold front that's going to bring some rain into the area as we head towards Wednesday and Thursday. That's something we'll watch later on in the week. That's one big story today. Another big story is in the West. Record heat for September, almost October. We're into the triple digits in some spots. Record heat, dangerous heat, and also dry and windy in portions of the northern plains. That's going to bring the chance for some fire danger as well. 24 million people impacted by heat alerts this morning. We're looking at heat advisories, heat warnings. The hot pink, that's a heat warning. And this is through Wednesday notice. So it's not just today, it's over the next several days. And they've been dealing with this for days. San Francisco down to Los Angeles, Palm Springs, Phoenix, Las Vegas. You're under the gun for some dangerous heat. Look at the numbers. Temperatures into the triple digits. Wow. San Jose, I know, 100 degrees. The record there is 97, 100 in Palmdale. This is dangerous because we're nearing October. This is very late in the season. You get that heat fatigue. And we're looking at Phoenix, 111 today. The record there is 107. That is on your Monday. Tomorrow on Tuesday, 101 in Redding. The record there is 103. So the record-breaking temperatures will continue tomorrow. Lancaster, 104. San Jose, 100 degrees. Las Vegas, 102. The record there is 100 and 109 in Yuma. This extends all the way to portions of the Central Plains as well because we're looking at temperatures well above normal for this time of year. Anywhere from 10, even 20 degrees above normal for this time of year. Then we're nearing Thursday and Friday, still talking about dangerous heat in Fresno, 102 on Thursday. By Friday, 99 Las Vegas, into the triple digits still Thursday and Friday. Same story in Tucson. I noticed, mentioned those dry and windy conditions. We're looking at some fire danger in the northern plains into the central plains. 3 million people impacted. So you want to be weather aware in those areas as you head out on this Tuesday. Let's talk about the tropics. Unfortunately, we're very, very active. We're talking about a couple systems, some disturbances as well. And we could see some spots that were affected by Helene possibly being impacted later on this week into the weekend. So we'll talk about that more later. But we do have that tropical disturbance off to the west in portions of the Caribbean. That's going to move into the Gulf of Mexico. That's one we're going to watch. We're looking at Tropical Depression Joyce, Tropical Depression 12. That's most likely becoming a hurricane. And this is the one that we're going to watch as we head throughout the next couple of days, because this could develop into a tropical system by the middle of the week, and this could impact portions of this country that was impacted by Helene last week and continues to be this week. Tropical Depression 12, real quick, 35 miles per hour, could become a hurricane. This one most likely will stay over in the open water, so we'll keep our fingers crossed on that one. But we'll keep you posted on that other one.
Just a reminder, hurricane season far from over.
I know.
All right.
It's in full effect.
Michelle, thank you so much.
Sure.
Thank you.
Yeah.
With just over 1 month until the election, both candidates are ramping up their efforts to win over voters in the battleground states. Vice President Harris campaigned in Nevada over the weekend and picked up a somewhat surprising endorsement from former Republican Senator from Arizona, Jeff Flake.
Meanwhile, this morning, former President Trump is getting pushback from even within his own party over personal attacks he launched against Harris at a rally in Pennsylvania on Sunday. Let's listen.
Kamala is mentally impaired. Joe Biden became mentally impaired. Kamala was born that way. Okay. She was born that way. And if you think about it, only a mentally disabled person could have allowed this to happen to our country. Anybody would know this.
For more, we're joined now by NBC News White House correspondent Ali Rafa. Ali, good morning. So in addition to those comments, Mr. Trump also said Vice President Harris should be, quote, impeached and prosecuted for her actions related to the U.S. southern border. How are the Harris campaign and others just reacting to these latest comments?
Yeah, guys, good morning. That extreme rhetoric from former President Trump, as you heard, continuing over the weekend, and he really doubled down on these personal insults on Vice President Harris, as you mentioned, calling her, quote, mentally impaired, saying she should, quote, be impeached and prosecuted for her actions on the border, which she visited last week for the first time in over 3 years. And yesterday, those attacks were really doubled down at his rally in Wisconsin. And while the Harris campaign, at least for now, is choosing not to publicly react to this, we are seeing members of the former president's own party condemned these comments by him, some of them saying in the past that they wish he he would move on to policy and his goals if elected for a second term. We heard from Senator Lindsey Graham, a longtime ally and friend of former President Trump, saying that he thinks, quote, the better course to take is to prosecute the case, that her policies are destroying the country. We also heard from GOP Senate candidate and former Maryland Governor Larry Hogan, who said that Trump's comments were, quote, insulting not only to the vice president, but to people that actually do have mental disabilities, guys.
Ali, also, we understand that both candidates are moving around their campaign plans, their schedules in the aftermath of Hurricane Helene. Tell us what we'll see from both Mr. Trump as well as Vice President Harris.
Yeah, we're already seeing what impact Hurricane Helene has on the 2024 campaign trail, not only because several of the states very hardly hit by this storm are several key swing states, but we're seeing schedule-wise how this is making an impact. We know that former President Trump is going to go to Valdosta, Georgia later today. He's going to be briefed on the storm damage there and then deliver remarks. And for Vice President Harris, this storm damage is really cutting her trip to Nevada short. She was scheduled to campaign in Las Vegas today. The the Harris campaign saying late last night that that trip will be cut short for Vice President Harris to be able to return to Washington, D.C. to get a briefing from FEMA officials to really review what sort of federal resources are still available to be added to the ones already allotted in this emergency response. And we did hear from the White House as well yesterday say that President Biden is going to go to areas impacted by the storm as soon as it's an option to not be able to pull resources that are so critical and being used at this point during recovery efforts, guys.
Ali, looking ahead tomorrow night, Governor Tim Walz, Senator J.D. Vance are going to go head-to-head in their first and their only vice presidential debate. Unlike the last debate we saw between Mr. Trump and VP Harris, the rules are going to look a little different this time around. So tell us what we can expect and just how both candidates are getting ready.
Yeah, so historically, these vice presidential debates haven't been enough to really move the needle. But of course, as we know, this election being so close, anything could make a difference on the debate stage. And this could be the last word that we hear from both of these campaigns on a national stage, given that this is the last publicly announced debate before the election. So this could really be a big political moment. Governor Walz and Senator Vance are going to face off for 90 minutes tomorrow night in New York City. This is going to be a debate hosted by CBS News. And what's different this time around is that the moderators aren't going to be fact-checking these two candidates in real time, with CBS saying that it's up to the two of them to fact-check each other. Now, as far as preps, we know that Senator Vance is using both his wife as well as Congressman Tom Emmer to play Governor Walz on the debate stage. Governor Walz, for his part, using Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg to play Vance. And this is going to be a big moment for Governor Walz. This is really going to be the last time we saw him on a national stage in a big capacity was on the stage at the Democratic National Convention. So this will be a big moment for the Harris campaign as well.
Yeah, certainly such a tight race. Every moment like this matters. All right, Ali Rafa, thank you so much.
Well, this morning we are also getting new insight into one of the key demographics in the upcoming election.
Yeah, a new poll from NBC News, CNBC, and Telemundo shows that Vice President Harris has a significant lead over former President Trump among Latino voters. The larger context here is that the wide advantage Democrats have enjoyed with Latino voters has been slipping away in recent years. As you can see, that support's now at its lowest level in the last 4 presidential cycles.
Here to help us understand that and that new poll that we've got out from NBC News, we have senior political editor Mark Murray. Mark, thanks so much for joining us as always. So on its face, I mean, it seems like pretty good news for Democrats. The poll shows Harris leading Trump nationally among Latinos 54% to 40%. But as Joe just mentioned, those margins are slipping. So are Democrats losing these Latino voters, or are the Republicans gaining them? What can we glean from this?
Yeah, Savannah, maybe the answer is a little bit of both. And you're exactly right. You know, the Democratic advantage that we ended up seeing at the presidential and also on congressional ballots was about 30 to 40 point leads going back to 2012. But now all of a sudden you end up having Harris with just a 14-point lead. Democrats only have a 12-point lead when it comes to the congressional ballot. And a lot of this is just due to how divided we are as a country. country. That, you have Latino men versus Latinas. You end up having college-educated Latinos versus those without college degrees. And those divisions, I think, are making this race a whole lot closer than we ended up seeing a decade ago.
Yeah, so Mark, the poll also looked at how Latinos felt about VP Harris and Mr. Trump when it came to some of the hot-button issues this election, which maybe helps us understand what's been going on in recent years. What did it find?
Joe, it has Harris with the advantage on abortion, just like she leads with the general electorate. It has her with an advantage when it comes to temperament and also being competent and effective. But Donald Trump ends up leading when it comes to the economy and on inflation and on the border. And it is worth noting that inflation as well as the economy are the top issues for Latino voters in our poll.
You mentioned the border. The poll found a striking split on immigration. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so our poll ended up finding 35% of Latinos saying that immigration hurts more than it helps. We've asked this question going back to 2006, and that 35% is the highest we've ever had for Latino voters. Also, we asked, do you prioritize more, enforcement of the border as well as a pathway to citizenship and treating immigrants humanely? And the Latino voters in our poll were almost exactly split down the middle on that question.
And Mark, you touched on this. This poll found Latino support varies widely by gender, also by religion. Tell us more.
Yeah, so by gender, Latino men are tied between Trump and Harris, 47 each, while Harris has a 26-point lead when it comes to Latino women. And then on religion, Joe, we ended up finding Harris with big leads among Catholic Latinos, as well as Latinos who aren't religious at all. But when it comes to evangelical Latinos, it's Donald Trump with a significant advantage. And again, all the splits that we're talking about are the splits that we're seeing with the general electorate at large. And I think that is the biggest takeaway from our poll.
Mark Murray, thank you so much.
Now, as that poll illustrated, the issue that tops the list of concerns for most voters this year is the economy. How voters feel about it and how either candidate would handle it could be the deciding factor in who wins the White House. That's why NBC News Now anchor Hallie Jackson traveled to eastern North Carolina to find out how they feel about the economy.
Hey there, we know this election season that voters have said over and over again that their biggest concern ahead of November is the economy. How voters feel about the economy could be the deciding factor in who wins the White House in November. So last week, we headed to North Carolina along the coast to ask voters in their own words how they feel the economy's doing.
Hi, ladies.
In this key swing county.
We're with NBC News.
Nice and big right here. In battleground North Carolina, there's no right answer, there's no wrong answer. We showed up with a whiteboard and a question.
But how would you fill this in?
What do you think, sir? The economy is? First word that comes to mind, just nice and big right there.
I don't think I'm allowed to write that word.
And we heard plenty.
Pathetic.
Hard. I think doing okay.
From terrible to getting better.
I think it's strong. I mean, the whole economy is not just consumer prices.
No, it's not, that person says. From struggling.
Real people are feeling much more pain than what the 401ks or the IRAs might be showing.
To booming.
I feel like money's flowing, people are spending money. I don't have any complaints, I'm a small business owner.
And we heard one word again and again.
It sucks.
Renee Governal plans to vote for Donald Trump.
Because everything is more expensive. Everything is just so much more expensive than 3.5 years ago.
Yeah. On that point, Glendora Fonestock-Sutton agrees.
Do you feel that pinch economically?
Absolutely.
Tell me about that.
Hey, it's rough on everybody. Like housing is up, groceries expensive, everything, and our paychecks don't live up to it.
But she's planning to vote for Kamala Harris. Nice and big right here. The whole thing may feel, well, complicated.
It's very, very complicated, and there are no quick and easy solutions.
In our newest poll, NBC News asked people all over the country the same open-ended question. The economy is, and by a 2-to-1 margin, the response is negative. Walk me through some of the dynamics at play right now. We sat down with our senior business correspondent, Christine Romans, at where else? A kitchen table to talk through it. If the experts you talk to, if economists were to boil down how the economy is doing into a single word on our whiteboard, what word would that be?
If economists were to boil it down, they would say resilient. They'd say strong. Some would say historic.
The unemployment rate, 4.2%. Inflation at its lowest rate in more than 3 years. And the markets setting record highs. But higher prices at the grocery store, for example, aren't dropping back down as quickly as many want.
The problem is there are pieces inside the economy that cause real Americans at their kitchen table paying their bills, they feel like they can't get ahead. And those things are childcare, they're elder care. They are concerns about Social Security.
Experts call it a vibe session, the disconnect between how the economy is and how it feels. For some, clearly a mixed bag.
Hey there, sir. Thumbs up, thumbs down. The economy is thumbs up. And a thumbs down right behind him.
From bad to great, more than just a feeling, the reality for many Americans.
Who wants to do the writing?
With one word this election season, top of mind, money.
So I always vote with my wallet. Yeah. Wallet first.
You vote with your wallet.
Wallet first.
And there you have it. Battleground voters in their own words, many different words ahead of November. Back to you.
All right, Hallie Jackson, thank you. Don't forget, as Allie mentioned earlier, you can check out the first and only vice presidential debate tomorrow night right here on NBC. Coverage kicks off at 7 p.m. Eastern.
Let's turn now to Georgia, where some residents east of Atlanta were asked to shelter in place after a fire erupted at a chemical plant in Rockdale County, sending plumes of smoke into the sky.
Authorities say water from a malfunctioning sprinkler came into contact with a reactive chemical, causing the thick gray and orange smoke that you see here. It's billowing from the facility. Because of this, officials urge all those in the area to stay away and stay inside.
NBC News correspondent Priya Shrithar joins us now from Lithonia, Georgia, with the latest. Priya, good morning. So what are officials saying about how the fire began or this chemical that's involved? Also, do we know if there were any injuries?
Absolutely, guys. Well, as you can tell, those pictures were very dramatic, and everyone who lives in this area, that's what they were seeing out their windows yesterday. And at one point, county officials were able to basically put that fire out, but it ended up reigniting, and it actually went on for about 12 hours until 4 p.m. yesterday. But early this morning, we did hear from the county that the EPA has confirmed that there is chlorine in the air. It's important to note that where this fire occurred, BioLab in Conyers, Georgia, which is about 30 miles east of Atlanta, is actually a pool and spa treatment facility. So it has a lot of different chemicals inside, and a lot of those chemicals don't mix well with water. We're actually standing right now outside of one of the evacuation sites because county officials, emergency management officials, actually told about 17,000 residents who live near this BioLab to evacuate. We did get a statement from the parent company of BioLab. They said we are actively responding to an occurrence at our facility in Conyers, Georgia. Our employees are accounted for with no injuries reported. Our team is on the scene working with first responders and local authorities to assess and contain the situation. And county officials have said this is an all hands on deck kind of situation, with Georgia Emergency Management Agency responding, hazmat teams, and also teams from FEMA, guys, to really try to contain the situation.
So, Priya, we've been covering Helene all morning long. Do we know, could that storm have had any impact on this fire igniting?
Yeah, Joe, that's actually a really great question. And the reason for that is there actually was another fire just like this at the exact same location back in September of 2020. And after an investigation was conducted as to what happened in that scenario, it was very similar, where water mixed with chemicals inside of that plant. They determined that it was a result of a hurricane. So right now, county officials are saying that it's too early to tell, but certainly once this is all resolved and everyone can return home, that's something they're definitely going to be looking into, guys.
All right, lots of questions here still. Priya Shrithar, thank you very much for your reporting.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or follow us on social media.